Welcome to Roof Talk, where we look above and beyond the surface of the construction industry. I am Aniket Patil, the founder of Skyline Roof and Co. And in this podcast, we're going to dive deeper into conversations with people who build our skylines, like builders, architects, and engineers, and many more in between. Today, we have a very special guest with us. His name is Sherek Almeida. He's the architect of Nine Dime. Thank you for coming here, Sherek, today.
Thank you.
All right. So, before we dive completely deep into the conversation, I want to ask you, what is the most unusual or unexpected place where you had like a design idea?
In the washroom. Most of the ideas.
All right, fair. So, okay, let's go into, what you do. Tell us about your company, how you founded it, and what was the inspiration behind you being an architect?
Okay, so basically my name is Sherek Almeida. I'm an architect.
Yeah.
I've been practicing for the past 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
And we are primarily based in Goa.
Okay.
We also have branches in Dubai, and we're
Okay.
setting up in London and Africa too.
Okay.
And we are mainly focused in blending art with architecture.
Okay.
So I don't look at architecture as just merely as a functional or
Okay.
aesthetic thing.
Yeah.
But I also like to bring a part of art into it. Me as a person, I'm an artist.
Mm.
I make music, I paint,
Yeah.
I do stuff like that. So I don't see architecture any different from that.
Lovely.
So I try to blend that together.
So I've seen a lot of your work, right? We worked together as well. So you worked on this particular concept called the Fibonacci series.
Yeah.
So what is that? Can you please explain us?
For in simple language, Fibonacci would like deal with ratios and proportions.
Okay.
So everything that you look around, even like in nature,
Okay.
or even like if you look at me or look at you,
Yeah.
the more beautiful or better we look, the more in ratio with Fibonacci we are in actually.
All right.
Attractiveness comes from Fibonacci.
All right. Fair enough.
So it's not just that, and it also deals with things like how you feel spaces
Okay.
and what makes things stand out from the others.
So there is this one particular project, right, which I've seen of yours, right? It's very famous on Airbnb. I've seen it myself.
Yeah.
And these are this really unique limestoney huts which you've done. I mean, I've not seen anything like that before. What was the inspiration behind that?
Truth be told, that structure was actually a maid's room.
Right.
It wasn't the main.
Fair.
It was before the resort to start.
Okay.
The owner of the plot wanted a caretaker's room.
Mm.
So he gave me a budget of like 5 to 6 lakhs. He said, make what you want, but make it soon and make it cheap.
Okay.
So we came up with this idea of using earth bags, casting them into domes, making it eco-friendly, super cheap, used all recycled windows. The owner loved it so much, he made another maid's room for the maid and he put this on Airbnb now. That's the story behind it.
I know I've asked this question to you before as well, right?
Yeah.
Now, you did do, your bags and, how did you manage the waterproofing around it? Yeah, people are spending so much money on waterproofing and roofing, but you did it like it was so easy and it's still there.
We used it like a geometrical pattern called the Vesica Pisces,
Okay.
which basically interlocks 3 circles within one.
Okay.
So just like how your tile roofing works, interlocked.
Yeah.
So that is in a circular way,
Yeah.
but stepped in a step format.
Correct.
So also we used lime plaster, which actually absorbs it but doesn't let it penetrate fully.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like in today's architecture, a lot of it's so mainstream. It's like buildings and beams and columns. There's so many, so little people, who are kind of going back to the basics of physics and construction using these kind of patterns.
we like to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah. Fair enough. So, is there any? I would love to know about one of your projects that you're doing in Africa, which we were talking about before. Before this. Tell me more about it. What's the project?
It's a resort,
Okay.
but it also has a front end like a mini mall type of an experience.
Okay.
So when we got the brief that it has to be a mall, we obviously didn't want to put up like a glass structure or something like that.
Yeah.
So I came across this airport, I think in Vietnam or Thailand,
Yeah.
where it's like a low stress airport where everything is reimagined basically.
Okay.
There is no institution of an airport, but it's more like small structures. It feels like a resort.
Fair enough.
So similarly, when we're doing this mall in Africa, we are thinking of not having it into one big structure, but rather like a series of water bodies, gardens, and a mall, more like a mall in a garden then a garden in the mall, something like that.
Sounds like a
Yeah.
5-star spa, which I want to go to.
We call it wellness mall.
Wellness mall. Fair enough.
Hmm.
All right. So, this obviously is a roof talk. I wanted to ask you, how big, which stage of your designing project, a roof obviously plays a big part, in any sort of architecture. How soon in kind of like design does roofing come into consideration for an architect like you?
Generally speaking, it comes after walls or something. But we
Okay.
usually start with our staircase and our roofs.
Okay.
These are two things we start with because I personally like staircases and roofs.
Okay.
The best part of any house, according to me, is the
Correct.
staircase. I judge a house based on its roof or staircase, honestly.
Alright.
So I start with the roof. Sometimes we don't even do walls. We only do roofs. Like if it's an A-frame or something like that.
Interesting.
Or we just bring the roof so low that it
Yeah.
becomes a part of the walls.
Okay. So tell me about a project where you've built an extraordinary roof. I don't know, any sort of a project.
All our projects have extraordinary roofs. I don't think I see even one which will be a basic roof as such.
Well,
So,
yeah.
for example, the first project we did was Villa 14 in Shiolim.
Mm-hmm.
It's there on the main road also. You can, if you're
Okay.
crossing by, you can check it out.
Okay.
What we did was usual roof for any
Okay.
house is this shape, right?
Right.
So we used that,
Okay.
but we instead of having it straight, we
Yeah.
turned it as a 45-degree angle.
Okay.
So your main ridge line is connecting like southeast to northeast,
Understood.
something like that.
Yeah.
But the purpose of that was to hit the southwest monsoons.
Right.
So the longer part of this is the lashing which you get is on the
Right.
longest part, which is diagonally facing the southwest.
See,
So
that-
this had a
that's-
purpose basically.
That's so smart. Like most people
Yeah.
would not even kind of
Yeah.
gauge that.
Yeah. Also, what it does is, since it's facing the southwest, automatically in India, you get the north open.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
your natural light, your ambient light, you get your openness on the other side. So it works both ways.
Two birds in one bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. So primarily, right, in Goa, we see a lot of roofing slabs that they cast.
Yeah.
And at Skyline, we are trying to kind of bring in this new integrated system roof. Have you ever heard of or worked on a system roof and not just like a slab or like a basic fabricated roof?
We are, in the general market trend is shifting towards structural roofing,
Correct.
system roofing basically.
Correct, exactly.
Yes.
So what I have noticed in the past couple of years that we did a fairly massive project now in Andamans as well and in Goa, wherein the builder and the architect, completely removed the RCC from the roof part. They gave us columns, they gave us tie beams, and then everything above that was a system roof.
Correct.
For audience, I will explain basically what a system roof is. You do your base level fabrication, then there is something, you'll have a under deck, a deck, a solid base deck. It could, in foreign countries they use marine ply or some sort of a pine wood. In India, fiber cement boards work.
Bison board.
Bison
As
boards
they call it.
as they call it. They are very convenient. After that, we use a underlayment or a waterproofing.
Correct.
On top of that, we have another layer of structure, which we also use like an encasement for insulation, and then we lay the final roofing product.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is not a new system. This is the system they use in America, they use in Europe for hundreds of years, right? So what are the fundamentals of this system? Basically, is when I build a roof, right, there is 5 fundamentals that I look at. First, it has to be leak proof. So we give 2-stage kind of protection. One is your membrane, and then one is your roof tile, and then you've got second is your insulation. Now, I think most of the people or the builders forget about insulation. There's so little awareness in the market. So what we do is we use best in class insulation, which also helps with kind of like your air conditioning, lowering your air conditioning costs, and it's completely fireproof, unlike conventional insulation products like rock wool or glass wool. So that's second part. One is leak proof, second is insulation. Now, the insulation plays a dual role. One is heat, the second is sound.
Yeah. With the monsoon.
We've got crazy monsoons here. We've got to have kind of insulation which protects us from the sun. Then kind of like my third fundamental is it has to be maintenance proof.
Correct.
we don't want to go back, keep on doing maintenance every couple of years. You know, we want to
Hmm.
build something which lasts you at least 20 years, and then maybe with natural wear and tear, we
Hmm.
need to do a little bit of touch up here
Hmm.
and there.
Hmm.
So we've got insulation, we've got leak proof, we've got maintenance, and most important is aesthetics.
Okay.
You know,
That's
by
it.
doing all of these systems, you have to make it. The final product has to be good.
Yeah.
So these are kind of the fundamentals that we are currently working on, and we kind of input and out. These systems are so flexible, you could say, that we can plug in and out products.
Hmm.
The entire goal is to
Correct.
achieve a final product which is comfortable,
Correct.
and that's what we're doing. I feel like in terms of how it helps architects is at the speed of construction or the builders.
Correct.
It's 50%, Sherek.
Oh.
It's half the time.
That's
We
good.
completed a 8-wheeler project in 6 months,
That's impressive.
and the builder completed it in 1 year, 4 months.
Hmm.
So, half time of construction. And another, I think, benefit would be that I think you would agree with me is that the flexibility working with steel structures.
Yeah, you can go
Concrete
crazy on the
is-
design.
Yeah, concrete is so kind
It
of
has to be
difficult.
casted, so it
Yeah.
has to be in a particular angle.
So, I want to know, what do you think is the future of kind of how is roofing affecting your design? So, like, how big of a role does it play in your design?
Like, speaking of the future of design, as we are
Hmm.
going slowly into a parametric world.
Please explain. I don't know.
So parametric is using computational designs to create odd shapes, basically.
Yes.
We're
Okay.
not just going like this anymore.
Yeah.
We're going like that. We're going however we wish to.
Yeah.
Based on it, it has to be sensible, obviously.
Correct. Yeah.
But now there is no limitation.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, the limitation was not in execution, but also in design.
Mm.
So now design has been solved by using softwares. We're using a lot of parameters to design, basically. And now execution has also been solved by you.
Yes.
So we have structural.
So I guess the new
System roofing.
technology is going to help
Yeah.
us out. So we are doing a project in Aldia,
Hmm.
on top of a cliff,
Hmm.
where the roof literally kind of encases the entire villa.
Okay. See.
So that I think would have been very difficult to achieve in a conventional concrete roof.
Yeah.
So, Sherek, at 9 you've got a fairly large team, and I've been to your office multiple times. We've worked together. So, you do like hundreds of projects. You've done hundreds of projects in the past 7 years that you're working. Is there any particular project that was crazy in terms of execution, and in terms of design? And how did you all do it? What was the inspiration?
Yeah, there are like many projects we can speak about in that. But
Okay.
just while I was thinking of the projects, I remember I've done your showroom in Kolhapur as well.
You have, yes.
So,
Tell the audience about.
in every project, not everything is fun, but there'll definitely be one or two elements that are like speak worthy.
Yes.
For example, for you're a roofing company.
Yes.
What we used for your facade, we realized that you're a south-facing facade.
Correct.
Your showroom. So we used Mangalore tiles.
Yeah.
For the facade.
I know.
And we made a joke about it, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's where Mangalore tiles should be used.
Yeah. For the
For
facade.
for the facade, not for the roofs.
Not for the roofs. Another interesting thing that
Hmm.
went into the designing of that was, the raw walls. I think those were those were very cool.
That came from because your showroom was initially a gas
warehouse.
station.
Yeah, it
What?
was a gas station. Yeah.
Yeah, warehouse. Yeah.
Alright,
So we
that's
wanted to
pretty
keep
cool.
that old charm and then also do something totally modern in the front.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
So, is there any project where you said you have done A-shapes also? So, what is
Yeah.
your favorite roofing product? Like, what do you like to use
In general,
in general?
it depends on project to project. For example, the recent project that we have done a collab on,
Yeah,
that's more in a rural setup.
correct.
So we wanted to use thatch over there.
Right.
It also works well for insulation and
Correct, of course.
monsoon and everything.
Yes.
But it also our walls, everything was in the same sink.
The same thing.
The brief was to have a rural house.
Correct.
How else you have a rural house without
Fair
a
enough.
thatch roof? So we use different roofing materials based on the vibe
It's
we want
very
to create.
project
Basically,
specific.
it's project specific.
You don't have a personal favorite.
Personal favorite? No, I cannot
Like, I
have.
know I have a personal favorite. But I will
What
not
is
say
your
it.
personal favorite? Everyone would want to know. The highest selling.
The highest selling one. It's shingles.
Shingles.
They're convenient to install. They're foolproof.
Yeah.
It's the most
Yeah.
dynamic
Yeah, and
roofing.
it's
One of
not
the most
yet
dynamic roofing
reached
product out there.
every place in India.
It's
yet.
not. It's
Yeah.
not. So,
It's-
what is current India's trend here?
Hmm.
We are talking about, like, we are catering to the top 1%.
Hmm.
With these people buying villas worth 8 crores and 10
Hmm.
crores.
Hmm.
But what is most of India buying right now? They're buying metal sheets.
Tata sheet.
Yeah,
That's what
Tata
they call
sheets.
it. Yeah.
Or GSWC, whatever.
Yeah.
They are basic
then-
color coated sheets.
Hmm.
Now, these sheets are not meant for residential homes. Now,
Yeah.
people are buying them sheer out of mere out of the convenience of cost.
Hmm.
But these metal sheets are actually really bad for residential homes. They are not insulated. If you stand under a metal sheet shed, it's gonna make so much rain noise. You won't be
Yeah.
able to even hold a conversation. Then these metal sheets are not insulated. It's basically
Oven.
it's basically an oven in
You're
there.
cooking in there. Yeah.
So metal sheets were built and manufactured for large scale industries
Hmm.
where they can do mass production of this warehouses at a very short time. You know how industries are built, right? Metal structures and then sheet.
Done.
They are not necessarily meant for homes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
Also
do-
lacks the softness in it.
Of course.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that is what most of India can afford right now, unfortunately,
Yeah.
And let's see, we will work on something wherein we can offer them a more convenient yet functional roofing product soon. In terms of this thing, right? In terms of functionality of any house or roof or any part of your design, like you want to make, so you said art with architecture, right?
Yeah.
So function is also a big component.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that?
With regards to art with architecture and functioning of roof.
Functioning not just of the roof, of the entire house, right?
Yeah.
So one example that you gave was we made it west facing, so that the
Yeah.
rain. So that's something.
Yeah.
So,
So another
important
roof
is that?
that we are working on, it's
Yeah.
at a place called Dara Marg, which is at the
right.
Goa border with
Right.
Maharashtra. We were designing a roof for that place, and we were thinking of not doing something abstract over there for the neighborhood context.
Okay.
So we were looking at all the houses around, all the village houses.
Okay.
They had a step roof and they had a cupola on top.
Okay.
They had a roof with a cupola with a gap in it. Now
Cupola.
that gap,
What's a cupola?
that's like another roof on top of it, like a
Okay,
like a
understood.
topi
understood,
they call
understood,
it, right?
understood.
So that topi was actually used traditionally to let the hot air escape.
Ventilation.
Basically. So we've creatively put our courtyard in the middle of it. We put that cupola, and we have basically kept the same neighborhood context for the design, but
Right.
obviously we've used different materials for
Right.
roofing. So that is one way how we can use it in a functional yet
That is a
designer
very
way.
interesting point, right?
Yeah.
Ventilation.
ventilation.
So I'll tell you what. Most of the roofing industry over here, or the roofing systems that they build here, are not ventilated. So
Definitely, yeah.
RCC slabs,
Yeah.
not ventilated. There's no chance to ventilate
Yeah.
them. Even in such humid climates as Goa, you can see a little bit of precipitation on the slabs on some days.
Yeah.
The heat cannot escape. The RC slabs, I think, are so redundant at this point. Yes, they're strong, but are they comfortable?
Do we need that strength?
Yeah, are they comfortable? No, they are not. The worst thing about RCC slabs is the retention and radiation of heat.
Yeah.
It'll heat up throughout the day.
And night
and
it'll-
nicely
when you
it'll
put your fan on.
nicely it'll bake you throughout the night. Just putting up your, air conditioning costs and
Yeah.
obviously the overall discomfort. Whereas, there's high-end insulated systems are a lot more efficient. And you said ventilation. Yes.
Yeah.
Every roof has to be ventilated.
Yeah.
And there is multiple ways to do it. For industries, they put that around ventilators. You've
Yeah.
seen that, right?
Yeah,
For
the
industries,
turbine.
kitchen, they put a turbine. But for residential roofing, they have more sleek-looking options. They've got this box which connects your entire roof roofing system, and whenever the heat rises, it has a area to escape from.
Okay.
And ventilation is always placed like at the ridge part,
At
or
the highest point.
highest point, so that the
heat
heat
rises.
can move out
Yeah.
and cold air can move in. So
Hmm.
this is how roofs stay well insulated and ventilated as well.
Yeah.
I think that's a very, very good
Another
point.
thing with roofs is what we like to do is instead of keeping like a simple roof in
Yeah.
general, we try to put a little bit of skylights. Obviously not
Yes.
in the south side where the radiation is high, but
Yeah.
in the north sides or any other side. So then we solved ventilation previously, and this would be your solving your natural lighting.
Correct.
I think it is a sin to put a light on in the daytime.
Of
There are many
course.
houses that you still have to put a light on in the daytime. It's so wrong, right?
That is.
in
The skylights, I think really, really a blessing
It's
to any
like,
space if
yeah.
done right.
yeah.
And again, going back to
And you experience your life in a different way.
100%.
Like you get a different type of a light in the afternoon, different golden light in the evening.
Exactly.
You know the time without looking at your watch, basically.
Imagine in the morning, right? You wake
Yeah.
up and then there's just a beautiful
Yeah.
morning light.
You get the light play of light and shadows inside the house.
And if the skylight is big enough and well designed, you can even see the night stars.
yeah.
If you have those automated skylights with curtains,
Yeah.
and I'll open them up. Oh, stars.
Yeah, so many people ask us about this
Yeah.
also, like how do you solve that? So we have used a very basic blind system, the same remote blinds which
Yeah.
we use for the office blinds.
Yeah,
We put them in a horizontal slanted way
correct.
with the track. That works as well.
That is
Yes.
great, isn't it? That is
Yeah.
what the industry requires
Yeah.
now.
So people usually fear of skylights because of waterproofing issue, but obviously if you use systematic system roofing.
So, waterproofing, what happens is majority, I think, of the people who do the job, right? I'll give you an example. In most of the European countries, they have school for carpentry. They have school for fabrication. They have schools for all kind of skilled construction work. Window, whatever it may be. Here we only have one, which is ITI, and majority of the unskilled labor learn from experience, but there is no proper methodology to it. So I don't know, I think you'd agree with me on
Yeah,
this,
that's
that
where we
India
are
lacks
lacking as of
skilled
now.
labor.
Yeah.
India lacks skilled labor at, we are in need of skilled labor. I think endorsement in terms of education has to be done towards
Yeah.
all of these smaller fields of
Yeah.
construction, like carpentry or, any of this window
Any of
making.
it.
So that is, I think, primarily the main reason why most of the skylights, or most of the times when designers try to build something, these things fail, because the person who's trying to install it is not
Yeah.
is
Neither
not
can
seasoned.
they read the drawings.
They
Like,
can't
we
read
might
the
give the
drawings,
drawings, but still.
they don't know what they're doing, right? They need a constant supervisor.
Yeah.
So if it's a contracting company which is detailing out each and every component of your skylight, each and every component of your roof, then it's a different story. But I think unskilled labor is the primary reason where most of extraordinary designs fail. What do you think?
Yeah, I totally I agree with that.
Okay.
And also equipment, I feel.
Yes.
I mean, there is no level of equipment that we use as of now. Just basic stuff.
No, there is not that level of advanced
Unless done
equipment.
professionally, obviously,
Yeah,
like
no,
by you
correct.
guys.
But
in general, I'm talking about.
no, but you're right though. There is not that level of advanced equipment available. Most of the things happen manually. I'll just give you an example, right? There's something called a pneumatic gun, right? It's a nail gun. It's a pressurized nail gun, and in abroad, if they are installing shingles on like a wooden plank, right? Fat. It takes them 2 seconds to install one shingle of piece. That same piece of shingle will be installed, it will take 2 to 3 minutes for our boys to install here with their drill machines. Obviously, because we don't use underdeck as the wood, but again, they just got better technology to do what they're doing, One benefit of this unskilled labor that we do have is that the cost of construction is a lot lower. But obviously, there's no efficiency. There is very little precision to what they're doing. They need constant supervision. I think that is where we require seasoned architects, and good contractors to kind of come in and do the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And in terms of this thing, what do you think are the biggest mistakes people are doing while constructing a building or a roof? In your experience, what mistakes people do? What are the things they don't account for when they're constructing a building or a roof?
The joint, like for example, in Goa,
Yeah,
we have a rule where 50% of the roof has to be a sloping roof.
right.
So 90% of the people, they mess up only at the joint where the 50% is.
Huh.
So you'll have a 100% roof. Half
Mm.
of it will be an open terrace, and
Yeah.
it's a general model of all the houses in Goa. If you
Okay.
see, half will be an open terrace, half will be a sloping roof. The part where the sloping roof and the flat roof meet is where everyone messes up, and that's the reason why there is a lot of waterproofing issues right now in Goa.
Also, like the joinery of the roof and the
Yeah,
flats.
where the
Yeah.
flat roof meets the sloping roof,
Okay.
that has
is
to be
the
done
biggest
very.
challenge.
It has to be monolith. The flat part has to be casted at the same day with the. If you're doing in that way.
Okay, makes
Yeah.
sense. Um, isn't there a law of something wherein if you want to get like your occupancy certificate, you need to have a sloping slab?
You need to have 50% of sloping slab.
Really?
For all the, except for city zones in Goa, all
Huh.
other places need to have 50% sloping slab.
I'm surprised. A lot of the projects that I've gone to,
Hmm.
people have found ways around it. A
Yeah,
lot of the
there are
people
ways,
want
there
to
are
kind of
ways.
just build a flat slab,
Yeah.
and then
But they'll put a sloping roof on top of it later.
they'll put it just
Huh.
like a lot
Hmm.
of our customers want
Hmm.
want us to kind of just put a temp roof,
Yeah.
and then they'll once
Get it
they get the
approved.
OC, and then just like a lot of people do
Yeah.
that. But yeah, I don't know. I went to a project today.
Hmm.
Like, it was a fairly large project. Yeah, they needed to do slopings, I
Yeah.
think, but I was quite surprised. Like, all are flats. What's
There are
happening?
two reasons why Goa probably has this rule. One is
Hmm.
for the rainfall, obviously,
Yeah.
which I don't see the point, because there are places with the same amount of rainfall like in Mumbai, which
Hmm.
are fully
Doing
flat
fine,
roof.
yeah.
They're fine.
They're
This
doing
doesn't
fine.
matter. Second thing is your neighborhood context.
Yeah.
That is an important. Now, people, when you come from outside, people, they look at it like, wow, you'll have all sloping roofs only.
Correct,
It,
correct,
it
correct,
gives
correct,
a feel,
correct,
or it
correct.
gives a charm to it. So that is one of the reasons.
I
why.
think that makes most sense.
Yeah.
Because see, at this point, we've reached a point in time in technology
Hmm.
that we can have flat slabs and
Hmm.
not have waterproofing
Yeah.
problems. Or it is difficult to find those
Hmm.
contractors who can do a really good job on massive sized
Hmm.
flat slabs.
Hmm.
But I guess your second point is more valid, wherein
Yeah.
the overall Goan aesthetic has
Yeah.
to be of slopey roofs
Yeah.
with tiles, and I think that point
Totally.
makes more sense. If there is any kind of tips you want to give to a home builder or build construction which is underway for end customer, what kind of tips would you give?
With regards to roofs?
A home or a roof,
Okay.
whatever.
With regards to roofs, what I see is people are leaving a roof as it is.
Hmm.
A roof can be used for so many other things apart from just giving shelter. You
Please
can
tell
make,
us.
you can make something interesting. We're doing this currently in one of our projects. We're making an interactive roof where you can actually walk on the roof, have a small amphitheater on the roof,
Okay.
which is connected to the remaining part of the flat roof. You can use it
Interesting.
basically. Why are we not using the roof?
I mean, see, look, that is
Yeah.
the roof I would want to do the next podcast on. We were supposed to do this podcast on the roof. That's why it's called Roof
Yeah.
Talk. But the
Yeah.
weather wasn't with us.
Yeah.
But that is
Yeah.
the place I'd want to do it.
You can grow stuff on the roof. You can have a green roof, a part of it at least.
Yeah,
You can make use of a roof
I think that's a very good
Yeah.
idea.
instead of keeping it right there.
Have you ever looked at green roofs, like not in terms of green, like solar roofs? Have you worked with any solar roofs?
We do a lot of solar roofs.
Okay.
But in Goa, I think the demand is not yet
Not yet come
there
in.
because the electricity is still not. It's fairly cheaper than the rest of the states.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely. It is cheap, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, Sherek, tell me, how can a roof construction company and architecture firm collaborate better to deliver a finer product to the consumer?
So with regards to designing,
Yeah.
you all can come in right at the design stage, right? So
Yes.
especially when we're planning something like fairly unique or
Hmm.
one of its kind type of a thing, we don't need to restrict our minds and be like, okay, only this can be done, only that can be done.
Mm.
You all can come and sit with us. We'll chill, we'll design, and we'll come up with something that has never been done before.
Fair enough.
So,
What do you think is the best way now? That is, if there was a second stage vendor, and if it's not me, you know me very well, but it was someone else. What do you think is the best way to communicate all your design ideas? Would it be, would you draw up 3Ds, or what do you think? What is the best way to communicate a design idea and then
I think
fabricate
the
it?
first way to communicate a design area is to tell a story about it.
Yeah,
Then we can get to the visual
makes
representations of all of
sense.
it. So first, if you have a story to it, the design or the house itself will have a soul to it.
Correct.
Everything else will flow
And
automatically.
then everybody else can envision,
Yeah.
I think it's
Then
important
they
to
know
have the
the
vision.
Then
Yeah.
they know the vision or the vibe of it. Then design flows accordingly.
Correct. I think that was a very common thing with very precise, there's builders who just want to build, and then there's builders who want to give out a quality product. A lot of the times when they don't even need to tell me what they want, because it's basically they use one word: seamless. Make it seamless. It has to be, just when you look at it, it has to be one body and one soul kind of thing in a house.
Okay, so I had a question.
Yeah.
Like, for most of the projects that we do,
Yeah.
and since we're into sustainability, we always promote mangrove tiles.
Correct.
Promote mangrove tiles over any, for example, imported ceramic tile.
Yeah.
Change my mind.
So look, Mangalore tiles is not a bad product. It's a very, very good product. The problem is with not just Mangalore tiles, it's the overall construction market, right? India has become a very competitive market, right? And for a manufacturer to make profits, he has to cut costs. In terms of the product quality, in terms of the clay he uses, in terms of the electricity or heat required to bake that particular product. Everybody is trying to cut corners to give out a product which is cheap to manufacture and more profitable. I think that is something which is wrong with the overall industry. So Mangalore tiles, like the old Albuquerque tiles which used to be there.
Oh, they're super strong.
200 years old.
Yeah,
We're seeing these
they're
on the
super
Portuguese
strong.
houses.
Yeah.
They're phenomenal tiles.
Yeah.
You can still use them.
Yeah.
That's how strong they are. And one thing I love about Mangalore tiles is how they age over the years.
Yeah.
That
The
none
weathering.
of these new products are going to offer you. And none of these new products even look that good if they
Yeah.
age. If they age, you just remove them. With Mangalore tiles, it's got a different charm,
Yeah.
right? It ages so well. But, unfortunately, the majority of the manufacturers do not manufacture that quality of Mangalore tile today. So they break very easy. They're very light. They are very porous, They're not baked right. So what issues this product brings to the consumer is this, for example, if you place it over a RCC slab, right? No matter how good of a waterproofing you've done, if the Mangalore monkeys come, people go up for solar maintenance. Most of the times people want solar. They want some sort of integration. They have solar pump, heat pump. They have water tanks on top of their houses. So accessibility has to be there. And when they go up, they break the tiles.
Correct.
And then when they break the tiles, there's leakages. That's one aspect, right? What were Mangalore tiles designed for was high slope Portuguese houses or olden houses. Even Indian houses used Mangalore tiles, those big sloping houses where people didn't generally go on top of the roofs unless they had to maintain it.
Yeah.
They didn't go.
Yeah.
So in today's day and age, Mangalore tiles don't work that efficiently. Even though if you install them, they look like a Mangalore tile roof, as a aesthetic. For me, when I look at a roofing product, it's not aesthetic. It has to be aesthetic and functional.
Yeah.
So the functional part, Mangalore tile is just not delivering right now.
There's a lot of maintenance.
And right now, the overall standards of living have changed, right?
Correct. Yeah, you can't have like snakes coming into your house.
Exactly. So back in the day when people used to have Mangalore tiles, they didn't have air conditioning. The Mangalore tiles were kind of a form of air conditioning where the air came in and out. But it wouldn't bring your room temperature down to 20 degrees or 16 degrees where you want to hold your blanket and go to bed. That's not going to happen with Mangalore tiles.
It leaks for sure.
Then wind pressure. You know, in the faces, there's high-end wind pressure.
Hmm.
They can blow off the tile in no
Hmm.
time. That's
Hmm.
also a big challenge.
Hmm.
They are not anchored. They have
Hmm.
manual
Hmm.
anchoring. You just keep them.
Correct.
They're not screwed
It's
in.
gravity based.
Yeah, they're gravity-based.
Hmm.
So waterproofing issues. Then you've got wind pressure issues. Often you see Mangalore tiles flying away. Then a lot of people don't like the color to change. You know, the roof idea for most people is that it needs to be red.
Yeah, I've seen people.
Correct, right.
You and me, we love the weathering, but some
You
people
and
like
me will love the aging. You know, you see those old churches,
Yeah.
they look absolutely gorgeous, but a lot of people just want it red. What is that? They don't want it to look
Yeah.
old.
Hmm.
So that happens with Mangalore tiles, obviously. Insulation wise, they are decent, you know, but not so good. And today, wood is so expensive, right?
Yeah.
So what happens with Mangalore tiles? There's 50% absorption of water,
Hmm.
right? So the weight load of the roof increases.
Hmm.
You know,
Then
and
that leads to sagging and
that leads to sagging. This obviously the structure has to be, you know, you have to put so much more steel then to account for that much more weight. But these are kind of like the pitfalls of Manglo tiles. Now, ceramic tile, I wouldn't say it's the most ideal product in the market, right? Now, the benefits you would get over this thing, Manglo tile is dynamic color range. You know, you get grays, you get blues, you get this burnt red color, and then these are very water repellent because this is white clay plus has a ceramic coat. So unlike, you know, your Mangalore tiles, they don't absorb that much water. So fungus and this and that problem are not there. This tile does have its own level of challenges. You know, the Mangalore tile has a better locking system. This does not have a better locking system. So Mangalore tile can go on non-system roofs. It can go directly on fabrication. This cannot go directly on fabrication. It needs a system underneath. But it will look fresh and new for the rest of your life. You know, breakage is a lot less.
Correct.
So there is, you know, benefits, pros and cons for both products. But so we've got a new product now in the market, right? It's called La Escandala. So it's new for the Indian market. So Skyline is trying to always bring in innovation and new products to the market. And this is a Spanish style. So it's a natural red clay tile in a Roman shape.
Okay.
Right? The thickness is around 10 millimeters.
Okay.
So these are extremely strong red clay tiles.
Okay. So
Okay.
that issue is solved. And
That issue is solved.
Yeah.
Extreme high quality baked. So, but the only thing again which comes into position, if they are so good quality, then the price point goes up.
That's
You
understandable.
know, if you're
right?
buying a Mangalore tile for 30 rupees, these are going to be more or less like 200 rupees.
Okay.
But the look, the feel, the life of that product is going to be
Makes
really
sense. Yeah.
Indian innovators are also, you know, manufacturers are also coming up with their own type of high quality products. Like recently we did a project where we used this kind of a Indo-Roman tile, you could say, from Chikmagalur. The tile was literally 20 millimeter thick.
Okay.
The tile installers were like, sir, tile cut nahi ho raha hai. Kaise cut karenge? So literally I saw the video of them cutting the tiles, right? The tile mechanical grinder which they were using, it was flaming up.
Okay.
You know, it was sparking and flaming up, but the tile wouldn't cut. So it's not like it's not there. There is good manufacturers in India also. You just have to kind of find them.
Cool. I think that's answered my
Yeah,
question.
there you go.
My mind has been changed.
So, yeah. So, see, look, we want to mix and match a lot of products. So we use puff panels a lot.
Correct.
You know, it's got a metal sheet on top, metal sheet underneath, and then it's got a foam underneath. And the foam can be of multiple types. It can be PUF, it can be PIR. PIR is like fire retardant. So insulation is all calculated in terms of thermal conductivity, right? So whichever has the lowest thermal conductivity is the best insulation. So often what we try to do is we try to put these puff panels at the bottom, and then on top of that we do a secondary structure and put the roof tile.
Okay.
Now once the puff panel is at the bottom,
It's
you
already
can
secure. Yeah.
pick and choose
whatever
whatever
you
roofing
want.
product you want.
Yeah.
Even if it's Mangalore tile, it's not a problem because my base is solid.
Yeah. We've done that at the new club we were doing at
Yes.
Vagator. So we
Yes.
were doing that with
Yes.
thatch on top.
So what
Puff
we did
panel and
in
thatch.
effect over there is that we had a puff panel base,
Yeah.
and then we did thatch on top.
Yeah.
So you've got your basically the 5 fundamentals. You got your insulation, you got your waterproofing, you got your brilliant aesthetics,
Correct.
and everybody's happy.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that is going to be the next trend into the market.
Correct.
Build your system and then have whatever roof tile you want on top.
Another benefit of using your type of system roofs is they can be pre-engineered or prefabricated and installed at site.
Correct. So we haven't gotten into that yet, but soon what we are going to.
But that would be the future of it.
That is the future, right? That has already been. It's already been in practice in America and Europe. Like I saw my aunt's house, right? She built a house there recently. House was built in less than 3 months.
Yeah.
All parts are made in a factory. They come and assemble it on the site, and that is it. Done. That's what they're doing with prefabricated industrial structures now. They're making those members and sections in factory.
Correct.
They go on site and install. But with residential, that hasn't happened. There's only a couple of companies which are doing it. But I think going forward, that is what we'll be doing.
Okay.
Fixed drawing each and every member detailed out.
Yeah.
Come, assemble, go. But till date, we've just been the production has been on site. We have been constructing on site.
What about in the future? Have you considered making your own type of tiles, own type of roofs, or something which is not been done yet? Maybe we can collaborate on that.
Of course. So
make something new.
We are always up for innovation,
Yeah.
and we are the first company, as you know, who got thatch into Goa.
Yeah.
So next step is making our own product and having it distributed across the world.
Yeah.
But we'll use your Fibonacci brain and our roofing expertise to kind of manufacture that.
Yes.
Right? In our market, there's a lot of the times when people don't want to go to architects because architects seem a little too expensive to them. But they get a low-level contractor or some engineer who just graduated to kind of construct their house. And then there is a big issue later.
Sometimes they don't even take the engineer.
Sometimes they're like, either wall bana do, either khidki aayega.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've had experiences like this before where they did their own DIY of construction without consulting with experts. Tell me about it.
So when architects do their design development stage in a design, there are many layers to it, many filters which are added to a basic design.
Right.
Namely, like functionality is one basic thing. Right. We'll do a bubble diagram. We'll understand which side you enter in, which side you go, which side you get out from. Apart from that, we also look at services. Like if you see at maximum 99% of houses till today have the AC outdoor unit exposed in the front. In the front facade. You do a good design and they'll put an AC in the front of it. Those are one of the layers. Services, adding your ACs, your electricity, your plumbing. Some people don't plan for transformers. You see buildings without transformers, then they have the department will tell them to put a transformer, then it's right in the middle. Along with the project name, there's a big transformer, ugly thing in the middle. Those are some of, also like architects are trained. We train 5 years, 7 years, we practice for so many years for a reason, right? We study so many things. We study wind direction, sun paths. So we use all that in our design. Also, we use your TCP, your guidelines for designing. We design according to the rules and what is well suited for that climate. Many a times, so clients avoid architects, they avoid engineers, they sometimes avoid contractors also. They directly get the laborers and they start their process.
Own DIY,
own experiment. So they don't mind making mistakes and losing their money in that, but they don't want to pay architects. That is one thing I've seen. I've come across like hundreds of people like in my tenure of being a practicing architect. One of them would be like the gym that I go to. He was renovating it. He asked me, right, would I be able to design? I gave him my quote. It's a very basic quote I had given him, but he chose not to. He said he'll do it by himself. Right now, he's painted the gym 4 times. Now also he doesn't like the color. He probably painted the 5th time. And he's taking suggestions from everyone. Not so chaos, total chaos. He's done his false ceiling. Now he realized he forgot something. Again, he's opening his false ceiling.
There you go. That is what is the issue. So,
Yeah.
what I have realized, right, working with so many builders and architects that we work with, I mean, like roofing is just one component, right? You guys need to think about so much more that goes into a house.
Yeah.
Like you need to think about wiring. You need let's talk about the basics. You need to think about wiring. You need to think about plumbing. You need to think about air
Vastu.
conditioning, vastu.
Vastu in India is a thing.
You need to think about windows. You need to think about paint, the tiles.
You know there is
How do you
Vastu for
do
roofing
that?
also.
I don't know.
So basically in Vastu,
Huh.
all your roof slope should point towards the northeast because northeast is the water zone. So when the rain falls, your roof is supposed to direct the water to the northeast, and from the northeast it's supposed to go down.
Wow, I did not know
So
that.
there's roof Vastu also.
There
We
is
take care
roof
of that as well.
Lovely. So with all of these aspects in position, right, like so many activities, like 100,000 activities that are to be done to build a house, how do you keep up? How does your team keep up with so many things to do? What are your, like, do you have SOPs or you just kind of know at this point what needs to be done?
No, we have our we have our stages, and within each stage we have a set of SOPs and set of deliverables which have to be given out, and what stage who comes in. We have a chart basically because there are some things that come from the owner, some things that comes from other consultants. We are the master consultant, but there are many consultants under us, like the MEP team, the structural team. So these are all the filters which end up, we coordinate with them, and then we create a master file.
Okay.
And there is a step-by-step process. From concept, we'll go to design. From design, we'll go to passing, legally passing it, and then doing the working drawings to start at site. So there is a set of how we do what we do type of a thing.
Okay. And do you always go for selections, or does your team go for selections? How does it work?
If it's a new product altogether, then I personally go. If it is something regular, we set what type of or near close and what is available in the market. Then someone from my team or me will go with the client and get that chosen.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So a lot of times what happens is with this manufacturers, right, the product manufacturers, in my experience, which in terms of roofing obviously, that these manufacturers bring in products from across the world, could be China, could be Vietnam, and they're not very well suited for the Indian weather. A lot of the times they are installed and then you find leakages there. The manufacturer don't give you the proper installation guides. These are kind of like the reasons in the industry which cause a lot of issue to the end consumer. So does that happen with you as well, that you choose a product that looks really nice, that the marketing guys explained you, they've done their job, but at the end of the day when it comes to performance, these products are just not up to mark or not consistent with the Indian standards?
Yeah, that's true. It happens with all types of product, not only roofing. It can be windows, can be anything. Like for example, with windows, it has to be monsoon proofed for Goa's weather, which most of windows are not. They don't have a drain for the water to come out. It just stays there. So it can happen with a lot of products. Yes, it's true.
Okay. So before we end this, would you have any tips for, please tell us, before we end this, please tell us where our viewers can find you on social media and what are a couple of your handles that they can go see your work.
On Instagram, we go as 9dim. 9DIM. That's it.
Okay. And have you got a website of your own?
Yeah, it's 9dim.in.
Lovely. So, Sherek, this was a great experience and a great conversation. Thank you very much for joining in today.
My pleasure.
And for our listeners, I hope you enjoyed the conversation, and we've got a lot more experts lined up for you. Please subscribe and like the video. I am Aniket, and this is Roof Talk. See you soon.